Today we're in Zagreb, Croatia, and I'm super excited about this video because we've got a lineup of some really traditional places to eat, and this is such a neat city. It's just beautiful, but the food is incredible too. So we've been here about 6 or 7 days and we've found some absolute gems, and we can't wait to get into the traditional food for this video.
The food in Croatia is very regional, so in this short series we want to be able to share with you food from all over the country. We can't wait to get into all of this eating. In the Zagreb series we're sharing with you traditional Croatian food and eating where the locals eat. In this video we're delving into hearty traditional Croatian dishes. We eat bean stew, smoked ribs and boiled beef at a popular local restaurant, and take you to the best shop in Zagreb for Burek, a flaky cheese pie. And then we show you classic Croatian comfort food. You don't want to miss this video. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. We've come out of the center of Zagreb to start this video, so we've come out to to the suburbs really, to find a restaurant that does very traditional Croatian food. So they have a daily menu, so the menu changes every day but always with very traditional dishes. So we have no idea what we're going to find on their menu today, so we're very excited to check this place out and see what traditional foods they've got for us. I think the restaurant's just up ahead here.
We just found out that this restaurant also has a regular menu, but it is all about the daily specials here, we've heard. So they had a number of dishes from all around Croatia, so very traditional meals. We ordered two, the first being beans with ribs, and the second being boiled beef with mashed potatoes and also a spicy sauce. Voila, we will. Our lunch has arrived and it looks like a really hearty feast. So we've got here a very traditional Croatian soup or stew. It's gra, which is basically just a bean soup, and it comes with a big smoked rib, so that's a pork rib there. We've got some homemade bread, so bread that's just made in-house that will go perfectly with the stew. This here is a plate of boiled beef with some mash, and then the spicy sauce turns out to be horseradish. Bit of carrot, boiled carrot on the top there, and then we also just got a simple shredded cabbage salad to go with it.
This food looks so perfect in the cold weather we're here in at the moment. So it's winter time. I love actually in Croatia how outside dining seems to still very much be a thing in winter. So we've been to a number of countries around this region over the last few weeks, and they seem to retreat inside away from the cold, which you understand. But here in Croatia, outside dining is very much still a thing in the winter months, which is nice. You keep your coat on and then you eat food like this. Like, how good does this look? This bean stew, just really thick. Let's look how thick it is. Oh my god, look at that. The beans are absolutely huge, and then you've got this amazing smoked pork rib to go with it, so you can see bone in, and look at the color and the layers of meat and fat in there. So that looks incredible. But let's get some stew, some bean stew by itself first. Oh my god. Oh, that's full of bacon, the smoked pork in there. It's got such a smoky flavor. Oh, and the beans are really soft. Oh, that's amazing. Just a great combination of flavors. You've got that smokiness, there's definitely, I think, some onions in there, so there's a bit of sweetness. I can get a little tang of garlic. Oh, that stew. That's unreal. That's going to go really well with this rib. Let's get some of this rib right off here. Look at the beautiful color of that meat. Oh, beautiful. So nice and pink from being smoked. I'm going to pop that in my stew and get this all comboed up together. Wow. Oh wow. Oh, that rib. I love the texture of smoked meat. and that is super juicy still, but how smoked meat has a bit of integrity, so it's not super soft. You can sort of feel the meat, but that's perfect because it's still very juicy. I'm gonna grab a slice of this homemade bread they do, which feels nice and squishy. Dunk it straight into that stew. Oh my god. This is a winter feast. This is perfect weather, perfect food for this weather. This bread's unreal too. It's super sour. It's got a nice bouncy texture. Oh,
I've got my plate of boiled beef and mashed potatoes. So it's very simple, literally boiled beef, mashed potatoes. We've got some boiled carrots on the top there, and then the spicy sauce is actually a horseradish. And I love that with this type of food, or food of this region, the traditional food, it is just what's advertised, you know, boiled beef, mashed potatoes. There's nothing fancy about it, it is just what it is. And it tastes exactly how you expect it to taste and want it to taste. The beef is quite tender, it's got a beautiful a softness to it, a great flavour, but it's also still got texture, so you can still chew it. And the rain is just really coming now, so it's bucketing down, but I still feel super cozy in our warm winter jackets, even though it's sort of howling a gale. The mashed potato is very creamy, and it's got just a beautiful, you know, potato flavour. I really love the horseradish. It's got a real spicy kick. This is just comfort food. It's got a real home cooking quality about it, and that's what makes it delicious. It's not the fanciest food in the world. It's not trying to be something it's not, which is what I love about it. It's just traditional, honest, good cooking.
this is as good as it gets for me, and this sums up why we chose to come to this part of the world in winter, because I think this food is perfect for winter time. But look at it, the rain is just pouring off the eave here. It's cold, and this hearty, heavy food, hot, that smoky flavor of the bacon, it is so perfect in this weather. But also you can have a cold beer to go with it, so you've got this yin and yang perfect combination. I really am enjoying this meal. It's so hearty, so traditional, very good food.
We've strolled back to the centre of town. Zagreb is a city which is made for wandering. It is a very peaceful city. There's lots of stunning architecture. Zagreb is actually one of the oldest cities in Europe. The first ever written record of a settlement here dates back to 1094, so it's ancient. So we're heading to our next spot. We're making our way to Dolak Market, which is the main market in Zagreb, and we're off to find a very popular street food here to eat in Zagreb.
Dolak Market is a very lovely market, open air right here in the heart of the city, but the open air bit is all the fruit and veg. There's actually layers to this market, so you go right downstairs for the meat and the dairy and that sort of thing, but there's other layers where there's some food. So just hidden down the staircase around the corner is the street food stop we're going to, and it's for Burek, which is something that you have to eat when you're here. So let's sneak down the staircase and find it.
We're lining up for some burek at this little shop. It is packed out with people, and the smells in here are very delicious. The burek, the smell of the cheese and the meat and the pastry is very thick in the air. So burek is essentially a dish made out of pastry, which is called yufka, and it's either with cheese or with meat. The smells are insane. The oven is actually right in front of me, and they've got these big pans of burek. They're golden and beautifully flaky. Oh, I can't wait to get into this. Hola.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Wow, it looks delicious. So Kuzno, this burek is as fresh gets. It is steaming, and we're watching them pulling the big pie trays or pie tins of burek out of the oven. And the way it's served is really interesting. So it's not a slice of pie as such, it's basically this crushed up beautiful mess of pastry and also cheese. So this is the yufka here, so the pastry, it's sort of similar to phyllo, but it's slightly thicker, and then you've got this white fresh cheese all in amongst it. Let's just get into it. We're gonna stop talking, it smells so good. That is sensational. The cheese is very salty, and the pastry, the yufka, is amazing. It's got a great texture, so it's crispy where it's you've got the top of the pastry where it's gotten the heat from the oven, and then it's soft sort of underneath because it's just layers of that yufka layered into that pie tin. This is addictive, and I love the shop itself. So it's very simple, just a few leaner tables. So everyone seems to just eat in. They grab their plate of burek, they're hunched over their plate like this, just shoveling it in as fast as they can get it in. And it's just a very simple place doing one thing and doing it very well. Oh, this is so good. That pastry, crunchy, soft, a little bit gooey, and that cheese, absolutely beautiful. And burek is a dish that you'll find all over this region. So it actually has Turkish origins, but it harks back to the Ottoman Empire, and because the Ottoman Empire spread all across this region of Europe, you'll find burek all around this region and in neighbouring countries and whatnot, and it's a very popular snack here in Croatia.
Voila. Bye-bye. Wow, that was good. And look at this shop. I mean, it is seriously simple. I love it. Just Burek written up the top here. A very sparse interior. That is a cool local spot, and the Burek was amazing. We've walked about half an hour out of the centre of Zagreb, so we're in more of a sort of suburban area now, and we've come for a very traditional pub restaurant, and it's this really neat little building over here. We'll just try and sneak across the road. This really neat little building, which looks like a bit of an oasis in the suburbs. All these trees, all this wood, looks really neat. So let's head on in and get a really traditional pub meal.
This restaurant is so warm and cozy. It's all sort of brick walls, wooden tables and chairs. There's all sorts of bric-a-brac all over the place. It's really packed out.
We've grabbed some beers to go with our meal, and I'm loving the feeling of this restaurant. So it's very dark, wood everywhere, little knickknacks like Sheena said, and because it's a bit out of the centre, it is definitely a locals hangout. It's a weekday and it's just coming up to lunchtime, and it's pretty packed in here, so clearly a real locals favourite. So we've ordered some very traditional foods, just waiting for them to come while we have our beers.
We've got a pretty impressive feast in front of us. Let me talk you through what we've ordered. So this here is a Zagrebački odrezak. It's essentially a veal cutlet. It's been pounded super thin, then rolled up together with cheese and ham, crumbed, breaded, and then deep fried. And it is massive. Look how big this thing is. It comes with a couple of wedges of lemon, and then we ordered some Croatian style potatoes to go with it. So I think it's sort of just like crushed potatoes, and then it's been cooked with caramelized onions. The smell is absolutely beautiful. You can really smell those onions. They're very strong. And then this humongous silver tureen is filled with Čobanac. And I said to Thomas that I really wanted to come to this restaurant on a Wednesday, because it is only on a Wednesday that they serve this shepherd's stew from the eastern regions of Croatia, and it comes with 3 types of meat, and I can also see some dumplings in there, I think.
I have cut into this roll of veal and look how good it looks inside. So it's stuffed with cheese and ham in there. So you can see all the veal on the outside, that crumb which is all nice and golden from being deep fried, and then stuffed with cheese and ham. And now you might think, hang on, this dish looks very much like a cordon bleu. And this is what they call it. So it's a Croatian style cordon bleu. And you can get them here with veal, pork, turkey, chicken, all sorts. But this is the veal one, which I think is a very interesting meat to go with it. I'm going to grab some of these potatoes, which look nuts. There are so many golden caramelized onions in the potatoes, and they look very buttery. And now, we also got some tartare sauce. And this is a really traditional accompaniment to have with this deep fried veal roll, so the cordon bleu. I've gone a bit cheeky. I've got another piece. I've gone with the middle piece so I can get right into the heart of this and get the nice juicy bits. So I've got some more tartare sauce. Wow, look, so much ham in there. Tartare sauce. You get a very strong flavour of the ham because there's a lot of finely shredded ham in there, and it's got quite a smoky taste, that ham. The meat is very tender as well. The veal just collapses like butter. You basically don't have to chew it. Very good crumb as well. Got some of these crazy onion filled potatoes. Oh wow. Oh, those potatoes are incredible. Oh, they're so sweet. The caramelized onion flavor is incredible. It's so strong. Oh, it's just coated all through the potatoes. Now, this bit that I had actually of the meat didn't have any lemon on, so I'll just squeeze some lemon all over that, drizzle it over that crumb. The crumb's got a nice crunch. It's not crazy crispy, the crunch, but it does have a nice bit of texture, the crumb. Now let's see what a lemony bit's like. That is a good combo. The lemon gives it a freshness because it's got the cheese in there, it's got the deep fried nature, so it's quite a heavy dish, but you combine the lemon and the tartare sauce, it really lightens it up. Tartare gives it a great creaminess and a bit of tanginess, and the lemon really gives it that fresh zing.
I've got this gigantic tureen of shepherd's stew to get into. It looks super hearty, full of meat. So traditionally it's cooked over a gigantic cauldron over an open fire, and it's supposed to have 3 types of meat in it. It's got a beautiful rich red colour, and that's from paprika. Alright, look at those big chunks of meat in there. Wow, stunning flavour. You can really taste that paprika. It's also got a strong flavour of onions and garlic in there. That meat's fantastic. So I think it's beef, and maybe veal. Let me just get another taste. Beef rather than veal. It's got a strong flavour, and it's not melt in your mouth tender, which I sort of like. You have to chew it, and the flavour as you chew it comes out. Those dumplings are great. Almost like a pasta, like just a wheat flour pasta. It gives it a great texture. Very savoury. I've got a whole basket of bread here, so I think I'm just gonna, look at that, 3 bread rolls, so rip and dip, I reckon. Dunk that bread into that broth. A very chewy, sour bread. It's wonderful filming this series because we've been able to eat food from all around Croatia. So not just Zagreb specialties, Like this stew, for example, is from the eastern region of Croatia. And in our previous video, we ate seafood. Seafood's obviously very popular amongst the coastal regions. This is fantastic. It's real winter comfort food. And I feel like I'm sitting in my grandma's house because, like, check this out. Here we've got like doilies, a random mishmash of vases and empty wine glasses and plastic flowers. It's got a real homely feel about it. And the food itself has a home-cooked quality to it. It's really great.